that we can get something cooking, and then we'll talk in between. So if you have any questions at any time, but we're gonna be doing microwave candy. I don't want you to think that I'm a professional candy dipper, but these are all recipes that we've loved over the years and that my family requests or that grandkids like to do because they're easy and they turn out, and you'll love them. You probably already have done some of these. Peanut brittle, I really like this batter bowl. If you don't have a batter bowl in your kitchen, that's one of my favorite bowls for making candy or for a lot of different things. But the peanut brittle recipe calls for a cup of peanuts, and I went ahead and put the 1/8 teaspoon of salt in with my peanuts so that I wouldn't have to worry about not including it. This is 3/4 of a cup of corn syrup.
Do you use another brand other than Carol? Use off brands?
I have before, and I haven't noticed a difference, but this is Carol, so, you know, I don't know if I.
Do all of you have the peanut butter recipe?
Okay, good.
One of them had not gotten that.
Yeah, one of them didn't have.
I'll start it out with the rice
Carol.
Okay, and so there's two of the same page?
Yeah.
Okay, just put that aside, I'm hoping that I only made one mistake today. Okay, peanuts, corn syrup, salt. We're gonna put it in our microwave for 3 minutes on high. And then we'll stir it and cook it for a couple more minutes. So microwave ovens, I think, are one of the most efficient appliances that you can have in your home. I was trying to think of all the advantages of having a microwave. You know, a lot of us just use them for reheating, and even if we just use it to reheat leftovers, it's proven that you're not wasting your leftovers. You're using them because it's easy to prepare for a fast meal. And so you're saving money on things that you might have thrown out. But there's a lot of nutritional value too in your microwave cooking. When you start thinking about cooking vegetables, you're not adding a lot of water. If I were doing broccoli, maybe I'd put not even, maybe 1/8 of a cup, a couple of tablespoons of water in with my broccoli, and then cover it with a piece of saran or a plastic, anything that you want to keep the steam in there. And for a pound of veggies, it takes about 8 minutes, but you don't lose any of your color, you don't lose any of your water-soluble vitamins, and they're really a lot more nutritious for you. So there's a lot of advantages that way, because our food isn't exposed to the high temperatures for so long that they are in the oven or on top of the range. One big advantage too is that they save on your power bill. They take 1/4 of the amount of power that an oven would, and now it'd just be for the same amount of time. So when you think about cooking a casserole for $3.50 for 45 minutes or an hour versus usually like 3 cups of food takes about 1 minute in a microwave, depending on what you're cooking. If it's something that's more sensitive, you might want to use, when it says 70% power, that just means that 70% of the microwaves are working, you know. And so when your microwave turns on, the waves are attracted to moisture. So it gets the moisture molecules moving and agitating each other, and the friction's creating the heat, and that's what warms up your food so fast. So then if we have something that calls for 70% power, then it just pulses and only is on 70% of the time as far
Marsha,
as.
all of your recipes, are you using 100% power always?
No.
No.
Some of them will say turn it down to 70% power.
Do you guys know how to do that?
No.
Okay, so like on, this one, it says power level. So power level, where does it say power level? Right here, power level, and so some microwaves, you're gonna push your power level first and then enter your time, and some want you to push it second, enter your time and then push power level. But every time you push that power level, you'll see, like, if I push power level once, then it goes to 90% power. If I push it again, then it'll say 80% power. If I push that same button again, it'll say 70% power. And so that's how you're regulating. And so sometimes when you think, wow, how did I massacre that? Well, I can leave my spoon in here and not worry about it because it's one of the silicone spoons. Or I have a wooden spoon that I like to use and I'll leave in there.
So Marsha, there's different wattages of microwaves
Yeah.
now. When we first got microwaves, they were like 900 or like real piddly.
Yeah.
Now you buy them, it's 1200 or 1500 and you go, my stuff's overcooked.
And so you need to know your own microwave. You know, I thought, okay, we used to take a cup of water and put it in the microwave, and if it came to a boil in 3 minutes, we'd say, oh, that's great, that's working fine, you know. And I did that when I tested this one because I thought, okay, I'm gonna have 2 ovens going at the same time. I want to make sure that I can run 2 at the same time off of this plug. But that's just an average test. At home, you know, we built our house probably 16 years ago, 17 years ago. And so at that time I put 2 microwaves in. I put one above my stove and then I had a built-in oven and I put one there because I thought everybody has to have 2 microwaves, right? You know, and they like when I do peanut brittle at home, I wrote it in a little recipe that now after this 2 minutes, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of butter, and that's when it's gonna start caramelizing and changing color on the peanut brittle. At home, it takes 2.5 minutes. Well, here, the other morning, I thought, you better go down there and see how long it takes you to do peanut brittle in this oven. And it took 5. So it took twice as long because it's an older microwave. But, you know, most things you're not going to notice a big difference. Maybe you'll add another minute if the chocolate hasn't completely melted. So now it's been in 5 minutes, and I'm going to add that tablespoon of butter. Now, I broke my batter bowls and I was, you know, needing to make peanut brittle and I hadn't made it for a long time and I thought, oh, just use this bowl, you'll be fine. And it didn't turn out as good as this bowl. And you're going, well, why would it turn out better in your batter bowl? And it's because it was so spread out in the bigger bowl in the bottom that the microwaves, you know, here it took a long time because it was denser, it was thicker, and so it
Are
just,
these like Pyrex ware or something?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
they're probably
Yeah.
can withstand the heat and everything
you know.
too.
So I'll set it for 3 minutes and we'll look at it. I think it's gonna take more than that. But when it starts getting that caramelized color, you know, some microwaves you can see in a little better than these. If you can see if your stuff's boiling over.
And
You know,
these
so
like say microwave safe too, which is,
okay, yeah, they're awesome. You know, of course I have to have 2 to go with my 2 microwaves. But it just, you know, they just work good. I found another little bowl in a cupboard that it's got the higher sides and not quite as spread out, that would have worked fine, you know, so you don't have to have this bowl.
I bet having the handle is wonderful.
Because some things get hot,
Yeah.
and especially something with a high sugar content. So here we have. Did I not put my sugar in? I did. Did I not put my sugar in to start with?
Oh, yeah, your Caro syrup?
But my cup of sugar.
No.
Oh, it'll melt real fast.
Okay. You know,
Marsha, would it hurt to cover the top with a big shell?
well, I really, not on this, you know. I went to dinner at my sister-in-law's, and she had corn on the cob in the microwave. She had, you know, she had like 4 ears, and she wanted them to cook pretty evenly. And she covered them with a wet paper towel.
Yeah.
And that kind of kept the steam there and made them cook a little bit, easier.
Marsha, on the corn, you don't need the wet pepper towel if you leave a couple layers of the leaves on and the silk. Go
You
ahead
can
and
do
do
it
it.
with the whole thing.
Just leave it in the husk.
Well, yeah, I usually
Kind.
break the end off. No, I don't
Okay.
cut it off. Just
Wash it and then kind of wrap it back again.
No.
Wash it
No.
off. You just peel the leaves down and leave about two layers, and then go ahead and microwave it 3 minutes or whatever per ear. And bring it out, and then you cut the end off and give it a squeeze, and the whole ear comes out of that.
And
then
the
the seal.
And I guess the heat's killed all the germs,
Yep.
so we don't have to worry about it. Okay, so you can do it like Debbie did with the paper towel. You can do it like Susie did. You can do it in a Pyrex with a glass lid and put a couple of tablespoons of water in. And usually it's a minute per corn. And so if it's 4, you're gonna set it for 4 minutes. Or sometimes I'll just take them and wrap them with saran wrap. And then just shove them in, and it's still the same time, it's still, you know, 1 minute per corn. I hope I don't ruin this because I put the sugar in late. Oh my gosh.
Then you should take a couple.
I had it on the tray.
The microwave, heat up the kitchen either.
Thank you for making that mistake so we don't.
Yes, yes.
So
I'm
it
glad
should
I
have,
had it on the tray.
should have
else I
gone in
would've
with the
wondered
carrot
why.
and the shots. Okay.
No, it doesn't matter. But if it's a wooden spoon or plastic spoon like that, usually I do because I know I'm gonna have to stir it 3 or 4 times. And it just makes it easy. Okay, let's see, what are some of the other things that I was thinking that some advantages of the microwave?
Without adjusting the temperature. Your time.
Okay. One of the advantages, we know it, that how fast it makes even prep time. So you don't have to use your microwave all by itself. You can use it along with, no, it's all right, I'll just use. I'm just gonna take one more. Like I made some breakfast burritos, and you know, put your eggs and cheese and potatoes and rolled them up in your tortilla and froze them. And then when you need a breakfast burrito, you can take it out, put it in your microwave, and 2 minutes it'll have it defrosted and heated through. But you're going, oh my gosh, it's, you know. I put it in the little air fryer, and then for another 2 minutes, and then it's crispy, and it looks like I deep fried it, and, 1 minute, turn it over, and so 2 minutes total, and then you've got your breakfast burrito, and it's a lot more appealing than the soft one that didn't brown. So you can use it along with your other appliances that you have in your kitchen. Well, while we're waiting on our peanut brittle, we'll go ahead and start our fudge. Now the fudge recipe, you can't fail. So just from the name, right? This is 3 cups of milk chocolate chips. And it has 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'll add my little can of Eagle brand. I'm not going to add the vanilla or the nuts till after. Yeah, thank you. I thought it is. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, every. All right, 2 minutes.
So is that microwave the same power? It's over one, or we're gonna
We'll find out. Okay, you can see that it's pretty thick, but it is starting, it needs a little bit more time. I think I'm going to, just because I flubbed on the sugar, I'm gonna add another tablespoon of butter and help, my butter stash. So, you can rescue, you don't have to worry, you can rescue anything. Like, have you ever made fudge or caramels that went to sugar? We all have. And so, the last time I had something that went to sugar, I just added a little bit more milk with it. It was caramels. And I just added maybe 1/4 cup of milk and put it back in the microwave and let it dissolve the sugar crystals. And
Marsha, what's the trick with chocolate chips when they get too overdone and dry? Has that ever happened to anybody?
oh, like you're trying to melt chocolate?
You're
and-
trying to melt chocolate and your microwave is too hot and it over cooks it and takes the moisture out of it. What do you put in it? Has that ever happened to you?
Well,
I know you
I was
have to
reading
water.
that there is something that you can put in it, but I've never done, I've never rescued.
Oil?
Oh, it is a different kind of oil, isn't it? And then that reconstitutes it.
Yeah.
Can you remember the name of the oil?
I
Or,
don't remember, I just remember somebody said to add oil.
Yeah.
Or butter. Or
Butter will work too.
Coconut.
but chocolate, when we do our melting chocolate today to make our peanut butter cups, we're gonna use 50% power. That's one thing that's gonna save you.
I
You
think
don't
that's-
want it on high, else
been
it's,
too hot.
you don't wanna have to reconstitute it.
Yeah.
And this chocolate I bought in the bulk bin at Winco, and so it's that nicer chocolate. Yeah, and so this has been in the microwave for 2 minutes. And you might see a little bit of chips that look like, oh, maybe it's not quite melted, but you'll see that it finishes.
That was just 2 minutes.
I could maybe put it in for 30 more seconds, and let me see. Let's do it. Oh, and one thing about this microwave, you can't leave the Okay, Tina, I'll have you add a teaspoon of vanilla and our nuts to the fudge. And then this is a buttered dish, and I'll just have her put it in.
Oh, you did that class where you etched your
Oh, my name is on the bottom of the
name.
can.
You guys spelled it
That's
out.
smart, then you get it back.
Yeah.
Personal.
Okay, Tina. Okay, now it's looking better. Okay, so this is really what your peanut brittle is supposed to look like. And it's almost ready. Can you see where it's starting to turn color? It's a little amber. I want it just a little more.
Will you let us get to see?
And probably, out of all the recipes on here, the peanut brittle, it would be the one that I left the sugar on. But you can see that it can be rescued and it's not.
You can fix it.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and put the nuts in.
Yeah.
Is anybody allergic to nuts?
Oh,
Wait, ask.
any nut
Does anybody doesn't want walnuts?
allergic to nuts, I like their piece.
Okay.
Okay.
You might eat it anyway.
All right. Actually, Marsha has these all pre-made, so. these
Yeah, I
are-
didn't want you to have to wait for the
Yeah.
fudge to set up.
She didn't want to
You
wait.
know, else we'd be here for a couple hours.
And you have to have muscles.
What might help with that is if you just pop your nuts in the microwave for just maybe 15 seconds to warm them up.
Oh, really?
Because the room temperature's not warm enough for the fudge.
They warm your nuts, did you, Marsha?
So that they're not cold when you put them in?
Yeah, so not really, just a little.
Okay, I'm gonna add my
have to when you get it.
teaspoon of soda and my teaspoon of vanilla. And that's kind of what, the soda's what incorporates that air into your candy, in your brittle.
You can do amazing things with, what's the milk called?
Condensed.
Oh my God.
Condensed.
Sweet and condensed.
Sweet and condensed, it's amazing.
Marsha, your other one, does it have a little bit of butter?
Yes, I did. I buttered that so before you got here so that I wouldn't forget it.
And you refrigerate this.
Yeah.
So Marsha, you use the has like the little skins on them? Peanuts?
Just the raw Spanish peanuts in the
Raw
bulk in a
Spanish.
Winco.
Okay.
And don't put the wrong code. I put the code for, the dried, cherries.
Oh,
Yeah.
those were
I
expensive.
looked at my receipt when I got home, of course, and it said
Yeah, there's our fudge.
$18. And I thought, $18 for Yeah, for a little bag of peanuts. And then I, looked at my receipt and it said dried cherries. And so I went back and said, it was my fault. I put the number of the bin that I was setting it on and not the bin above.
Marcia, do you want this better bowl to mix
So-
in again? And I can wash it up.
We don't need it.
You don't need it?
Okay, I'll give you this and we'll just set it over at cool.
Just be cool. You don't refrigerate it.
Now, we'll just let it cool and then we'll break it into pieces. Saved it. Saved it.
You can wash that bowl or
I let it
that
go.
would be a deal.
That's the worst part of the candy is soaking that peanut brittle bowl.
Are you gonna use it again?
No.
Put a little Dawn in it and be fine, hey?
Yes, yes.
It's a nice great bowl, there's a lot. I can wash this.
Yeah.
It might be too hot. All right, let's see how we're doing. Now, the caramel recipe, I think that we're gonna go on, we're gonna come back to that. We're gonna use that for the recipe in the middle of our Rice Krispie treats. So everybody's made your Rice Krispie treats, right? In the microwave? No? Okay. All right, so we're gonna make 2 batches because these are super treats. So, super means more, right? And, oh, I don't want that yet. I don't want that yet. You better read these directions. Marshmallows and butter. So I'm gonna put my 16-ounce package of marshmallows and my cube of butter in the bowl. I've taken, where are those 2 pans on the range? I've taken these 2 cookie sheets and one of them is just buttered and the other, yeah? She says to me.
I couldn't see
Don't
it.
leave
I
anything left on the tray. Okay, so we've got our marshmallows and our butter. And how much time does it take? 2 minutes, maybe?
3
3 minutes.
3 minutes on high.
And this is all on full tower.
Yes, it's a high tower. You can't ruin marshmallows and butter. Then we'll take it out. We'll add our 7 cups of Rice Krispie treats, or Rice Krispies, stir it, and put it in the pan without the foil. It wouldn't matter, just so that I have each pan separate, okay? So I'll just start my other batch while that one's cooking. Now, I've noticed that a lot of microwaves, the defrost cycle is wonderful for defrosting food, but it's hard to work sometimes. It wants to know how many pounds. Well, this isn't meat. This is, something else. So just remember that defrost means 30%. So if you just put it in at 30% power, then it'll defrost evenly. You might have to check it because you're figuring the time instead of them. But, if it's 3 pounds of hamburger, it might take 8 minutes to defrost. But, it just depends on your microwave. Your microwave might not have that special defrost button, or it might not have the melt button, but it doesn't always give you the choices of what you want to melt. So, melting is 50% power, defrosting is 30% power. So
So you're melting them in the big bowl,
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Okay, I took the butter off of the wrong tray, so that's the caramel tray. I'm going, I'm not gonna get messed up and not put something in again.
Well, when you're making candy, you cannot substitute margarine. It's gotta be butter.
You're right, you're right.
Nothing with water.
And that's one thing it said, as far as like water, you know, the microwave likes the water, but if you're dipping chocolate, the chocolate doesn't like the water. So don't have a damp bowl, or don't have a drip of water on your spoon, because it can affect your chocolate melting. Correct, without it. They have a special name for it. They call it seizing. I have no idea what seizing looks like, but it's bad.
Turns it into granulated chocolate.
Oh, that is special, but.
Is that the one you want to make?
Okay.
Ooh.
Someplace in there it's the butter.
It's on the bottom. So it's all handwork. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This is one of my Pyrex salad bowls that has a plastic
Oh,
lid
and
that
it is
hooks on it.
Pyrex, though.
But
That's
I
nice.
really use it a lot for candy because it doesn't let it
Do you want me
boil
to,
over.
we want to put this other one in, or are you doing?
Yes,
one batch?
please. I'm gonna put it in at 3 minutes. Okay, we just have our marshmallows and our butter. Nothing fancy. Until we're done, then they'll be fancy. I think out of all the recipes on here, this is the recipe that my kids think that they have to have for Halloween or, you know, a party, cause they're yummy. And if you put them in,
Ultimate Rice Krispie treat.
if you
let
put
me tell
them
you.
in the little snack bags and keep them in the fridge, they'll last for as long as they're there. You know?
Or hide 'em.
An hour.
Hide them in the veggie drawer or behind the
Put 'em in a
meat
shoebox.
drawer. On the tablecloth.
Yeah, ice cream cake.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you, thank you. It's not.
Peanut butter in there. Rice Krispies too. She was just this little Chinese lady that came from China.
I have a big spoon that I'm gonna help it smash. So if I butter the back of a spoon, it's easier than the sticky spatula. So. We could take this away. I'll give you this. I'll give you this too.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you get her?
Well, I know, it fell apart.
Okay. Do you need this one?
No, this is mine.
You have to have kids around to lick all the bowls.
I do. That's my phone video. Okay. Just because I wanted to smash. Candy, your marshmallows are done.
Oh, wow. Look at those.
I don't know.
Crazy. Now, did you use the red spatula to stir it with?
I did, but you can use anything you pick.
Well, that's fun. Get that butter in there.
And I'll try to get them spread out. I don't know why I'm. And if I'm trying to.
Cause everybody's watching you.
I think so.
And it's warm in here, so.
Or just use the butter knife. Oh, there you go. Yeah, just.
It feels pretty good in here,
Yeah, that's
actually.
true.
I'm glad it's close.
Go outside.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just my age then.
We've all been there. We've been there.
Probably,
Okay, we've got one layer of our treats.
Hey, Marsha. Marsha, this cute young lady here said just use your butter wrapper.
All to smash it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have leftover.
Yeah, like this wax paper.
All right, I'll try that on the next batch. Okay.
You do the whole thing.
I already measured 7 cups, so that was from the bulk, didn't you, at Costco?
Is this the bowls too?
Yeah,
Oh,
but I didn't,
nice.
I put the right number on.
You know, I finally wised up and bought cornflakes from the bowl. You know how when you're making a funeral potatoes and you don't wanna buy the huge box of cornflakes? I thought, oh, just buy,
That's true.
you know, a cup, or 2 cups from the bowl. Then you don't have that box of cornflakes sitting around getting stale.
Like, the big flat bowl, is that, oh, like this one, do we have another one like that?
A
That's
big,
the big one like this?
I'm washing it.
You're good, you're great, I'm so glad you're here. I was afraid she was gonna be out of town. She helped me on another demo day and I'm going, you're my demo helper. Are you available? I know, we just grew up together. She, I
Do we
think,
look alike because we grew up together?
so how many years have we been friends?
We have been friends,
Oh, that tells our age. Probably since 7th grade.
yeah,
Yeah.
65 years, 65 years.
Holy cow, yeah.
You're only 21.
And
How does that work? Okay, we're gonna try the, see, I needed it because I think that, thank you. Okay, so that I, so I could try this, even though I already got my finger in it. Okay. Much easier. Thank you, thank you. I have one here.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that helps, yeah. Spread it out.
Or even just a cube of butter, just run it across the top like in once. And you can spread it out.
Okay. You know, the messiest stuff is the best. Okay, now, we're going to put 1/3 of a bag of those miniature marshmallows on our one that doesn't have foil. So now it matters where you put the marshmallows. Because we're gonna invert this over the top so that we have a center. And the center will have,
so this.
yeah, 1/3, that,
We gotta measure this one.
well, just,
Or you gotta.
you don't, it's not precise.
Okay.
But it probably won't take maybe all of them. We're just gonna sprinkle it, we don't want them touching.
Are we gonna melt
We just,
and do another microwave melt of these?
no, you're just gonna, kind of sprinkle.
Oh, I
Kind
gotcha.
of sprinkle.
Okay.
And,
Well, you just unwrapped it so you can use the wrapper.
Yes.
What's
It's
that
very
cover for?
important.
And that did work really good.
That
was a
works
good
so much
idea.
better.
Good idea.
Thank you. See, it takes a village to raise a kid. Takes a whole class to get this done.
She's going crazy on the marshmallows.
Oh,
Too
okay.
many?
She said a
Okay.
third of a cup.
No, third of a bag.
Oh, a
A
bag.
bag.
Never mind, I
Yeah.
apologize.
So you're okay. You
I'll
can-
be quiet.
You can still get a couple in the
Let me
corner.
feel the corners
You know,
up.
but yes, she's not gonna, she's not gonna ruin it. Even, maybe if she only put a third of a cup, she'd ruin it.
But they're touchy.
Yeah, yes, that looks perfect. That looks, yes, I would say that's beautiful. That's plenty. Okay, so now we have a middle caramel that we need. Now the caramel recipe, now the way that the Rice Krispie recipe is on there, that's the original. That is just like my friend gave it to me. But it calls for 45 Kraft caramels unwrapped and a can of Eagle brand, and you microwave it and make your own caramel with those caramels. You're just melting the caramels. And then you pour that over and invert it, and that's the original recipe. So us, we're gonna make caramel so that we can make caramel. And then we're gonna use that caramel for our middle layer. Is that gonna be too confusing? Okay, because I wanted to do the caramel so that you could see there's a lot of things that you can do with just like one recipe. So it calls for 2 cubes of butter. And I already have, let's see, a cup of corn syrup. So place butter, corn syrup, and brown sugar in a large bowl. So butter,
I washed
if I would use that bowl instead of this bowl, it would probably boil
Oh,
over.
it would boil over.
So that's why it says a large bowl, because,
Because you put your
Yeah.
baking soda in there.
well, no, it doesn't call for baking soda, but yes, I just want more room. Usually, they say if it takes a third of the space, give yourself 2/3 more room. And I'd probably even say a fourth of the space, give yourself, the safer you are. Okay, so we've got our corn syrup, our 2 cups of brown sugar in the large bowl. We're gonna cook it for a couple of minutes. No, we're cooking it for 3 minutes, stirring it, and cooking it for 2 more.
And then you add your milk.
Yes. And I've done the same recipe by adding everything at once, but I liked it better if you separate it, because once it went to sugar, I had to do cook it over. So it's safer if you dissolve your sugar completely on this recipe, all right? So, let's see, some other things that I wanted to say, let's see. They really say that microwaves are safer than regular range. They have less burns, even though you have to be careful sometimes for something that's hot. But kids, are really safer to use the microwave than the topping of the range or the oven. One disadvantage of the microwave that I really wanted to talk about is sometimes we'll take our little plastic dishes and we'll put some leftovers in it and put it in the freezer, and then bring it out and want to just put it in the microwave. Well, the chemicals in plastic leaches into your food, and so you're eating the chemicals from the plastic. So they say when you're doing your freezer foods, freezing your leftovers, or even when you put them in the refrigerator, you're much better off if you just put them in a little glass Pyrex with a lid. And then you can take it off, take it right from the fridge or the freezer and put it right straight in the microwave, and you're not gonna worry about plastics leaching, the chemicals from plastics leaching into your food.
Don't they say we eat tons of plastic every day? But we actually consume it in our.
Okay.
Botox.
Keeper.
Marsha, you missed that, but you have to hear the comment from the back row, eat plastic. Okay, spit the word out.
Botox.
Botox. Is Botox plastic?
I know, but it looks like plastic, so. So your insides will not wrinkle.
Oh.
It's too late.
Some things we just have to let go of.
Yeah, that's right.
So you'll notice on this recipe it says cook for 3 minutes on high, stir and cook 2 more minutes. And then it says to reduce our power. So right now it's on high for the first 3 minutes, but you know, it's still just, our butter is melted, but you can see that we still have some sugar that needs some attention.
I'm amazed that you can just pull it out with.
Microwave popcorn. Do you make your caramel in the microwave or do you still?
Okay, so did you hear, Tina's question is, when I do caramel corn, do I make it on top of the stove, or this is the recipe?
Is this your
This is,
caramel?
so,
So you make
this,
it in the microwave and you pour it over you.
yes. So this recipe is awesome for caramel corn. It's awesome for, just dipping apples into caramel. It's great for, buttering just a dish like we did the fudge, and pour your caramel in, and then you can cut it into caramels and wrap it in your little, wax papers. So the same recipe. And if you said, well, I want my caramel corn for my popcorn, I don't want it so sticky. Well, I kind of like that softball stage. But if you wanted it not so sticky, then you just cook it to a firm stage when you do your testing. Just cook it, just 2 or 3 more minutes.
So what are you looking for in this stage before you add your meal?
Oh, well, it's not even enough to even do a stage yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're not gonna worry about it yet.
Because that's when you have to reduce your power.
Yeah, yeah. So, this, as I'm going out the door, I'm going, okay, what if I have some time and I need to fill some time to talk? Okay, so this is my time to talk. All right, so I've brought these before. These are my microwave lids that I love. And they're good, like for your fry pan, if you're frying something messy on top of your stove. But you can just put it over the top of something that might splash. And then you don't have to worry about it. And they last forever. I got them on Amazon, but the little brand is Bekith. Betkit. But you can look at it after if you want. But a very good investment. They come in 5 different sizes. These are the 3 that I use the most. But I even use it to plug my sink. While I'm doing my dishes, and then after put them back in the drawer, and then I use them to cover the microwave. So versatile. All right. So one year for Christmas, we did our batch of caramel, or batch of peanut brittle, and instead of putting it out on the foil, we just got the little, at the dollar store, and poured our peanut brittle out on this. And then the little sign we made said, in case of emergency, break. And then we just added the little handle of the hammer that unscrews and put it with the ball, and it was a darling Christmas present.
Oh, that's a cute idea.
For the caramel, one year we did the apple slicer, filled our caramel in the little pint jelly jars, and then you could add an apple, or you wouldn't have to, and just put your little cellophane around it, and it's just a cute little neighbor gift that
Don't get
doesn't.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so this is our second 2 minutes.
That's amazing.
So now we will,
So you're just looking for sugar crystals to make sure it's.
yes, so, and I'm not bringing it out because it's been in there long enough that we're just gonna put our
Condensed milk.
condensed milk.
Yum, yum.
Is there anything else I need to remember? And then change the power to 7%.
7%.
And then we'll start, you know, it says 6 to 8
And then
minutes, but
stir
it
your
depends,
vanilla.
you know, after, okay, thank you. We'll remember our vanilla. And you could really take away that yellow tray, but not that measuring cup. Oh, that measuring cup, we need some cold water in, because we're gonna be testing the softball stage. That will, you know.
And you don't need soda
No,
in this?
we're done. I'll give you this. Isn't she a good helper?
She's a good sous chef.
Does she charge you by the hour?
Well, she hasn't told me yet her price. That's something you should always ask up front.
Where did you get your little hammer for that cute idea?
Hobby Lobby, $6.99.
Okay, Bobby, look.
And they have cute little all color prints on the end. But my kids love them, and you know, I have probably 2 or 3 just because. I'm gonna set this for 5 minutes on 70, and then I'm gonna test it. Okay, power level,
I'm gonna watch
power
her do
level,
this.
set on. Maybe it wants the time first, okay. That's 5, no.
So when you hit power level, and then
Power
you
level.
again.
7, no. So maybe. Okay. I couldn't do 5 and do the power level because the 5 was preset for 5 minutes on high. But if I did the time cook, I could do 5 all power level 7 and get my 70% power. Who would have
You have to
known?
experiment with your
So
microwave.
you just need to know your microwave. Okay, so let's see, what else did I have in here that, another thing that's really good, like to cover stuff so that it doesn't splash, is like your little coffee filters.
They work like crazy.
You don't have to drink coffee to take advantage of the filters, because,
And if you wet it, squeeze it dry, if your food under there is really moist, you wanna heat it up, just lay it on moist and it works great, as well as dry.
okay. So, it can help you cook, it can be your bowl, it can cover it so it doesn't splash. All right. That's it, that's all I put in the little sack that I thought we needed, some conversation. Okay, Tina, you can, get,
Do you want me to start putting things up on the tray?
we could, yes. Well, I have to do the stuff in the, yeah, stuff in the fridge.
I'm sure she does this. She just had a screwdriver.
Oh, yes, did you see how cute that is? Inside the hammer is like 3 different sizes of screwdrivers. One's Phillips, one's regular, and then you undo another handle and it's the tiny one. You always need a hammer and a screwdriver. So yes, that's a must-have.
And your husband won't walk off with that.
Nobody.
They do though. They
Oh, even
love
those
it.
kind?
Painted it pink or purple.
Okay, so when you're doing dipping chocolates, it's best if you just do a little bit at a time. You know, don't think you're gonna do
You
the,
want the bigger bowl
no,
for that?
no, I'm just doing a little bit at a time.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna put like 3 little chunks in here. And I'm gonna put it in for, well, it probably only took 2 minutes, but this is solid and, you know, and this is, might take longer than that. But I'm gonna do 2. What?
Were you able to buy that chocolate like in the
Bulk bin? Milk chocolate bulk bin?
And the,
Yes.
oh,
It is $8.88 a pound,
okay.
but
Sour chocolate chips.
It's
The
yummy.
bag isn't 60
And-
ounces anymore.
this dipping chocolate, there's a lot of things you can do with dipping chocolate. Just think about dipping strawberries. Or adding some peanuts and making peanut clusters. Or, you know, there's just anything you can think you can
This
do.
food.
Okay.
Chocolate's so expensive right now.
Now, I think the power level here was different. I put power level first, 50%, and then to, start. So just the opposite, but it's the same brand. Who would have known?
You've got 50% power.
Yep.
For those chunks.
Okay. And now this one, you know, we're on 70% and we're just watching it to see how it's doing. And cold water. Okay. We don't need this anymore.
Very cold water.
Okay, so our peanut brittle. All we have to do is just bust it into pieces. They're pretty easy, even when you leave out the sugar and add it later.
Well, it worked.
Yes, that works. Okay, so now
That did
take
work.
this to,
You want me to put it on trays? Here's
what do
your
you
cold
got?
water.
Yeah, and you can start bringing stuff out. Well, wait a minute, we have
Wait a minute.
Okay, I'm just gonna stir this caramel. I did 5 minutes, but we could even really start testing, doing our cold water test. Maybe.
Want me to stir?
We need more time, so we can.
Okay.
Serve this power level 5 to start. Okay,
Do you want to serve this one or the one
Well,
with me?
or you can put this on top or refill. Okay, so cold water test. Okay. I knew I was there somewhere.
It's cold, I put some ice in it, so.
Okay. You know, it's close, but, gonna do it for another minute and then we're gonna take it out and we're gonna hold it then, add our vanilla. Power level 70 for one more minute. Start. So it's starting to melt, but it needs just a little more. It's been in 3 minutes. But, well, I did two the first time and then I opened the door before it was quite done. So I'll probably have to add another minute, but it's getting close. Let's see. Oh, and we talked about what you can use it for. We didn't, and Sunday topping, it works really good, like over ice cream. And
Marsha, how long does it last? I mean,
how long does caramel last?
in the fridge, say, I'm only one person, so.
I would say it would last for months.
Yeah.
Or I would say 6 months. I would say a
I would
year.
say a year.
You're not, none of the, no. You could put it for your 2-year supply.
That would be a smart thing to happen, you can just supply with things that pouring.
Okay. This recipe, it doesn't really take the whole recipe for doing it on top of our Rice Krispie treats. It makes about 4 cups. And I probably would use 3. You know. And so that's why someplace I butter my cup. Oh, butter my cup. And vanilla. Thanks.
Oh.
And let's see. You can see if I have a butter wrapper on the top of the garbage. Okay, no, it's red. It's gonna finish melting, I think, while it sits there. So it's doing
Oh,
good.
it melted good. And do you think the bulk chocolate is less than 9 chocolate chips?
Well, I just think it's a finer quality chocolate.
like it.
So like if you were dipping chocolate, that's what you buy, you know, you would,
Thicker.
yeah, it's just quality.
It's really nice and
Okay,
creamy.
let's see. Okay, right on top, perfect. I was really gonna hold the bowl up and pour, but I knew it was a little warm, so this is safer. Oh, yeah, I'm on the right. Okay, so I'm just putting our caramel middle as I drop it on the tablecloth.
This is so rich. Oh my gosh.
I think that's why everybody loves that, because it's,
You could always put chocolate on top of it too.
Oh my
oh,
goodness.
you're right, we can make,
chocolate chips.
Oh, wow.
okay, then it would really be super Rice Krispie treats. And I brought a couple of little jars for, like the jelly jars for you to put what's left over.
Okay.
So I'll give you the pen. But we just want to cover it.
Stay sticky or does it harden?
It hardens. It'll be a soft ball, so if you were using it for dipping apples, it would still be a good, you know, If you wanted to make caramels and put it in a pan and cut it, you'd want to cook it for a couple more minutes because you wouldn't want that soft ball steak.
Look at that.
Now, you can see why I said it's important to butter the foil. Because it, you know. Now this, of course, is gonna take some time to sit up in the fridge. Then you don't have to refrigerate it, but I do anyway, even, because it's really good cold. Before I put it in the fridge, I would score it and cut the size pieces that you want, because it's hard to cut after it's all set up and firm, and, you know, if you score it now, then you have marks that'll kind of be there when you score it again when it's all set up. So it's done.
Wow, great.
Serrated knife works really good. And so that's what you do. And then I just score it again this way, make them, you know, so that they'll fit in a little snack bag. I think I said I did 6 across and 8 down, so that you end up with 48 pieces. So that's a lot of trees. Okay, so it's time to put out the trees. Okay. I'll just take this back here and we'll cut it. So
Do you want it in the fridge or?
well, we'll cut it first. Place it down. Put that on.
Here are the finished Rice Krispie treats.
Mm.
They are delightful.
So any questions?
So what are you gonna do?
Oh, we gotta do our peanut butter cups.
I was gonna say,
We're almost ready.
What do we do with
Okay,
That's good.
and in the fridge, that little containers in the fridge. Okay, the peanut butter cups. I've gone ahead and done the little powdered, I'm just gonna put like a teaspoon in the bottom of each one of these.
So you make the butter balls first?
Yes. So I went ahead and did the peanut butter and powdered sugar and made it into little balls. And then I'm going to just blob a ball on top of the chocolate. And voila, they're done when we cover them with more chocolate.
And they're soft, pretty soft.
Well, if you don't want them that soft, I added a little more powdered sugar thinking I would be a little easier to handle, but you're not gonna ruin it, no matter how. The recipe called for 3/4 of a cup of peanut butter and a cup of powdered sugar. And I think I ended up with a little more powdered sugar just to. Oh,
Check that one.
that's good.
More on the top.
It'll be beautiful when it's covered. And this is something that's easy for the kids to help with.
This is in the way.
Are all sizes of those little paper cups that you're using, do they have all sizes by the cupcake?
They do have all sizes. These I bought at Hobby Lobby. And they were the smallest ones that they had, but they fit. I really wouldn't need the cupcake holder to, you know, the little muffin pan, but it makes it easy to hold the shake really good while it's setting up in the fridge.
And we're just gonna make as much as you have there in the chocolate, right?
Yeah.
So we're not gonna get all of them, cause she has them all made.
Part of it you don't have
She's a
to
magician.
want. And we don't want you to have to wait for 2 hours